Welcome, beloved Sangha, to our second episode of a Jewel Ornament of Liberation series with our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin, guiding us in all the wisdom he has to share on it. We will begin today's episode in the Yellow Garchen Buddhist Institute prayer book on page 4 and 5 with opening prayers. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Kaju lama namje da jo she da nan da na zera tamje da lama la pu la ye ju so zong lo zong yong de jam zong a la wa den zhe dong jian zhe be ge le zo da ge lo ju zong zhe war zhen jie lab de so ju lam dan zhe war zhen jie lab de zo lan zhe wa se war zhen jie lab de zo zhe wa yi shi zong jia war Jinja lab de so gang ge tin jian zhe wan jiong ga pa me ba jie pa me ba da me ba wa me ba zhuo me ba da de dong me dong jie me zhi ba nie jie jie den ba zuo ba zang jie na nam jie dang ba de la zang za lo ren jie za ba la ma ji jie gu zong do jie si lan da de Da ge ju lan pe de da ge dong ba dang sun jie jie dong la bo jian zhe bar sun jie lab de zo. May I please the authentic Guru and practice the Dharma day and night, having realized the Dharma and accomplishing its essential meaning. May I cross over the ocean of worldly existence in this very life. May I thoroughly teach the sublime Dharma within the world and never become disheartened or weary of accomplishing the benefit of others. Through working impartially for the great benefit of others, may all beings attain Buddhahood together. Very good morning, dear Dharma brothers and sisters. We all generate great bodhicitta and compassion. Compassion and bodhicitta are the consecration of our Dharma statues. The compassion and the bodhicitta hold our Dharma until we attain enlightenment. Then last week we talked about illusion. So today we will discuss it through examples. First, what is illusion? Illusion is a mistaken perception, which means that one does not perceive the reality. Illusion in Tibetan is turva, which means that one does not perceive the reality, but it has two classifications: sense illusion and mental illusion. Sense illusion is, for example, squeeze their eyes, then you see double like moons. Squeeze your eyes, and then you see double like two moons. Mental illusion is, for instance, someone scared ghost. Then in the night they see a tree, and they feel it come towards them and display some scary actions. Then there is a Juma in Tibetan, which is something that appears from outside, like a magic show. But here we are not talking about only these two kinds of illusions. We are talking about all thoughts as illusion. But to make sense, if I give a few examples, to start, we are deluded with a form like a ring of fire makes a circle, which we perceive, but is not there. We are deluded with a color, the way someone who has wind disease sees a snow mountain as blue. We deluded with actions, the way one sees the trees and mountains are moving when one travels in a vehicle. We are deluded with time. For example, in the middle of the night, we dream that it is midday. Also, in the Bardo, one experiences 21 illusions. For instance, for 49 days, there appear different colors corresponding to the realm in which one will take rebirth. If one is to be reborn in human realm, then a yellow color will appear, and at that time one can be attached to it, or afraid of that, or doubt, or fixate, and so forth. And then, according to our misperception, the realms manifest until illusion becomes pristine awareness. One is driven by illusions in samsara. There are many examples of illusion. They are grouped in either 12, 9, 8, or different numbers. Today we will discuss 8 examples of illusion. First, illusion is like forms in a mirror. We see them, but in reality, there is no form there. So illusion means that it just appears to our eyes, but in reality, when we check it, there is nothing there. Second is like optical illusions. For example, we look at a house and it looks like one solid form, but in reality, it is made up of parts. And then we look at a person and it is exactly as it is mentioned in the Heart Sutra. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, but we perceive an eye or head or arms, and we think there is a person. So this also appears to our 5 senses, but in reality it doesn't exist. Then third, it is like the moon in the water. The moon's reflection provides everywhere in all water, whether it is clear or unclear. So a single thing becomes many, but this is not real. Then fourth, it is like a magician's show, which is related to cause and conditions. For example, someone who is a magician needs, for example, different colors of thread, different flowers. They need some material things, and through these they make a horse and elephant, so forth, but they are not actually there. Then fifth, it is like a mirage, which is movement. Everything is moving. All phenomena are moving. We think this Mother Earth is very stable. The mountains are stable, but even scientists know that this Earth is moving non-stop 24/7. So what we see or think and the reality are different. Then sixth, it is like a water bubble. Water bubbles come from air and disappear through air. Then seventh, it is like a dream. In a dream, many funny things can appear. If you have a very small room and a very small bed, just the size of your body, you can still have a dream of thousands of elephants and big rivers, mountains, monkeys, and birds flying. All of them. All of these things are just made by mind. and thoughts and perceptions. So it is illusion. And then it is fast like a lightning. It does not stay stably. So these are the example of the illusions. Illusion. Uh, we know these illusion things are not reality, but still we don't know this something is illusion. We don't know something is illusion. So that's why we are uh, attaching. We attach or we fixate, and then through this way we get we accumulate many negative karmas, and we accumulate negative karma through fixation, and then sufferings are becoming sufferings become real. The suffering are also illusion. If we realize, actually, what is the benefit to realize illusion in relative level? The benefit is that if you have some obstacles, problems, difficulties, if you recognize them are illusion, and then it cannot affect to your mind. These negative conditions or obstacles, if they cannot affect to your mind, then your suffering is impossible. Then there is no suffering. Of course, if we realize the reality of this illusion, reality means the essence of this illusion, these illusions, then we realize the essence of phenomena. So essence of the phenomena is emptiness. Actually, we will talk more about this. And then you should reflect more. How much you reflect on it after you listen, you reflect more, then it gives you great benefit. Then we continuously go through our book. When will the delusion become pristine awareness? It does so when highest enlightenment is reached. Those who think that illusion may dissolve on its own should be aware that samsara is renowned for being endless. Having in the above way carefully considered samsara in terms of it being an illusion, the extent of its suffering, its duration, and that it is not self-discipline, strive in all earnestness and with great diligence from this very moment onward to attain unsurpassable enlightened mind. What exactly is needed to strive? So, the synopsis is prime cause, base, condition, means, results, and activity. By these 6 general key terms should the wise know or pearlies enlightenment. This means that one needs to know 1. The prime cause for highest enlightenment. 2. The beings whose existence forms a base for achieving it. 3. The condition that incites that attainment. 4. The means by which it is attained. 5. The results of it being attained. And 6. The enlightened activity once there has been such attainment. This will be explained in the above order as being the following. The prime cause is Buddha nature. The base is our most precious human existence. The special condition is the Dharma Master. The means is the Dharma Master's instruction. The results are the bodies of perfect Buddhahood. The activity is to non-conceptually fulfill the welfare of beings. This is merely an outline of the main structure of this text. What follows is a detailed explanation of each point. So, then Buddha nature. Buddha nature. First, we discussed about Buddha nature. Illusion. So, illusion temporarily covered our Buddha nature. So, hopefully, you understand that what is illusion. And now we are going to discuss about Buddha nature. So, what is Buddha nature? There are 3 different ways of approaching Buddha nature. The first is through path instructions. This is where the Guru directly points out your mind and you suddenly realize Buddha nature. Oh, this is Buddha nature. If you realize that, and then if you are not come back in samsara, then that would be wonderful. So, for example, when Gampopa said to Pamodrpa, I like my Tsampa do better than your realization. At that moment, Pamodrpa realized his Buddha nature. If we cannot directly experience our Buddha nature through path instructions, then there is the second method, the path of logic. But both methods must rely on the third way, which is faith in Buddha's scriptures through listening, reflecting, and meditating. These days we employ all three methods together. So what is Buddha nature? Buddha nature is the natural state of mind, free from 8 extremes of complexity. The 8 complexities are birth, cessation, permanence, nihilism, coming, going, one and many. It is suchness dharmata, which is ultimate clarity and the union of awareness and emptiness. We also call it the union of clarity and emptiness, or the inseparability of appearances and dharmadhatu. In addition, it is uncompounded and spontaneously present. How it is spontaneously present in mind is shown in 9 examples. In the beehive, there is a honey. In the hole, there is a green. In garbage, there is a gold. Underneath the ground, there is treasure. In old clothes are hiding a Buddha statue. In the womb of a poor woman, there is a Chakravarti king. Underground are jewels. In lotus petals, there is the Buddha's form. So Buddha nature is present in our our consciousness profoundly and clearly. First, in a closed lotus, there is the Buddha's form. What is the relationship between these lotus petals and the Buddha's forms? Buddha's form. The lotus petals represent attachment. And the quality of attachment is that if you find a beautiful lotus, when it is fresh, we like it. But when it becomes old and withers, we dislike it. So default desire is like this. But the essence of this desire is Dharmakaya, or Buddha nature. Because through the essence of this desire, we find the clarity of wisdom. If the lotus petals grow old and don't look good anymore, but inside the lotus petals there is the Buddha's form, since the form is covered by the petals, people won't know what is inside. But wisdom beings, they can see through the petals and notice the Buddha's form, and they can take the Buddha's form out and throw away the old petals. Similarly, great practitioners see the Buddha nature and start to purify defiled attachment. Defiled attachment is illusion. So that's where first we introduced illusion. Second, in the beehive, there is honey. The beehive represents anger. The bees are an example of anger. They buds and crowd together. Similarly, when anger arises in the mind, in that moment, the anger crowds out any temporary happiness. Only anger is busy in the mind. Similarly, inside the beehive, there is honey, but because the bees crowd the hive, people cannot get the honey. But beekeepers know how to claim the bees with smoke and remove the honey. Similarly, practitioners who see the fault of anger, they start to reduce or purify their anger and bring the essence of the anger out. And the essence is the Buddha nature. If the essence of anger were not Buddha nature, then practicing with the essence of anger would be useless. But this is not something you just need to believe. Because right now, many practitioners do this, and they attain mirror-like wisdom from anger. Mirror-like wisdom is actually Buddha nature. Then husk. The husk is a representation of ignorance. When the husk covers the grain, then we cannot see the grain, and when we can't see it, we don't try to get the grain from the husk. So ignorance covers Buddha nature, and that's why right now we don't try to attain Buddhahood. But great practitioners, they see Buddha nature is inside of them, and then they remove or purify ignorance. Then they find Buddha nature. How one finds Buddha nature from ignorance is knowing the essence of ignorance is Dharmakaya. This we can understand through the actions of ignorance. Sleepiness, dullness, fogginess. These are qualities of ignorance. At the time we are more lethargic, more unclear, so our thoughts are not so busy. And actually Dharmakaya is tranquility, peaceful and relaxing. That means the essence of ignorance is Dharmakaya, Buddha nature. In the spring, people plant the seeds, and in the fall, they harvest. And everything they do during that time, their ultimate goal is getting the grain. Right now also we work to attain Buddhahood. Whether we recite a single Mani Mantra or whatever we do, it's exactly like them. We are like farmers. Actually, you should know if you are into Buddhism, Buddha Dharma, then you should become like a farmer. So farmers has lots of responsibility. Maybe you know more than me about that because I'm nomadic boy. So, but my mother is farmer, so I know a little bit about this. So they have a lot of work. First, farmers plow the ground, then they water it and plant seeds. Then the seeds sprout and grow, and so the farmers work more. Then, when it is very dry, they water more. And then in the fall, when it gets cold and the frost comes, they worry. So they work very carefully for their crop. Similarly, practitioners try to attain Buddha nature by doing recitations, meditation, and prostrations. Everything we do, it is very similar. Then in the garbage, there is gold. Garbage has a bad smell. So people don't check it to see if there is anything precious in the garbage or not. This example actually describes the Sharavikas. They think afflictive emotions are 100% negative. They don't care about the essence of these afflictions. They think that the essence is also inherently defilement. But then Bodhisattvas and higher practitioners, they are able to see the essence of them. So when they arise, they don't try to block them, but they focus on the essence of them. So that's how in the garbage there is gold. But people don't expect it to be there, so they cannot utilize it. But Buddhas know and gurus know it, so then they introduced that there is gold in the garbage. So you can take it out and wash it and use it. In the ground underneath a poor family's house, there is a treasure. This poor family lives there and they have no food and clothes. They have to beg for food and clothes. And each day, maybe they get one bowl of food and some old clothes. Maybe not. It's very possible that they come close to starving, but they don't know that under their house there is a precious treasure. They cannot see it, and the precious treasure also does not announce its presence. Likewise, our afflictive emotions, and especially the imprint of ignorance, obscure our Buddha nature. We cannot see it, but we try to remove our suffering in many ways. We try to liberate ourselves from our suffering. We try to lots of things like a poor family begging from door to door, village to village. They work very hard, but they get very little. Similarly, we try to liberate from our suffering, and we do a lot. But whatever we do to try to remove our suffering is a cause of suffering. But when we see the essence of Buddha nature, which is inside our mind, as Milarepa said, don't search for the Buddha outside of your mind, but look at your mind. That means Buddha nature is inside our mind. And then in old clothes are hidden Buddha nature, which is just thrown in an empty place. Many people travel past this place, but they are unable to see the Buddha statue. They only see the old clothes thrown there like trash. Similarly, we can't see the Buddha nature through our thoughts and perceptions. But the Buddha and masters can see that in the old clothes are hidden a Buddha statue, and they'll take away the old clothes and bring the statue to an altar and make offerings to it. Similarly, practitioners with less obscurations see Buddha nature. Maybe they see Buddha nature for just a moment, or they see wisdom light like a fire spark. Then they take care of that. They continuously practice. So Buddha nature is within each and every moment's thought. Then a poor woman who has a Chakravarti king in her womb, she doesn't know that in her womb there is a Chakravarti king. But why does she have the Chakravarti king in her womb? Because of great karma from previous lives. She practiced the cause of having a Chakravarti king in her womb. But on the other hand, she had less patience, and so forth. So different causes ripened into different fruitions. That's why she is a poor woman. But she has a Chakravarti king in her womb. She thinks she has no protector and feels helpless and discouraged because she doesn't realize a Chakravarti king is in her womb. Similarly, in our mind, we have Buddha nature. We are like a poor woman. Sometimes we feel lonely and discouraged, and we suffer and can't find the method to liberate from suffering and commit suicide. If we see the essence of mind, then understand there is a Buddha nature, which we can radiate or arouse, and we see the path of liberation. Then in a lamp of clay, there is a golden golden horse. Then the potter knows that inside the clay there is a golden horse. And he breaks the clay to reveal the horse because he knows the clay is temporary. Similarly, Buddha nature or the luminosity of our mind is inside our grasping and egoistic thoughts. So now we believe that, and then we progress and grow this belief in our Buddha nature, and then we will be able to know it. While we have this belief, we try to remove the clay of these egoistic thoughts, and then we realize it, then we know Buddha nature. It provides everywhere. For example, empty space provides every cavity. Empty space even provides our nostrils. I don't know if your nose, running nose, then it block your Buddha nature. Just kidding. Uh, but how does it? It provides the pores of our skin. Similarly, Buddha nature provides everywhere. Everywhere sentient beings provide, there provides Buddha nature. Wherever is provided by emptiness, is provided by Buddha nature. What is the Buddha nature? It is Dharmakaya. So each and every being, the essence of their mind is Dharmakaya. The essence of their mind is totally pure, inherently pure. Buddha nature provides afflictive emotions, cognitive obscurations, and all the thoughts of the daytime or the dreams of the nighttime, all our virtues motivation and all our non-virtues motivation, all of our thoughts or our mind, our consciousness is combined with Buddha nature. For example, in the fall, we have crops. This crop, like a barley or rice or beans, is covered by a shell, all whole. Right now, it is like all we see is the whole, and we trust the whole, but the Buddha's teaching introduce us to what is inside the whole. We cannot see the grain inside the whole. On one stalk, there are many grains of crop, and each one of them is covered by a hole. In the summertime, we can probably not see crops there directly, but in the fall we can. Are the farmers working for the grain or working for the whole? Actually, in Tibet, there are nomads and farmers. Farmers say the nomads are a little foolish, and the nomads say the farmers are a little foolish. They just joke with each other. That means farmers have more experience about crops, barley, and so forth, and the nomads have more experience about butter and milk and so forth. That's why nomads say that farmers who had never seen a car before, when they saw a car, they thought it was an animal. That's why they brought a bunch of stalks of grass and put it in front of the car. Just like if yaks or sheep were there, they would eat the stalks. In any case, it is not until after the summer, in the fall, that we can see the green inside the whole. Similarly, right now, we only see afflictive emotions. We experience them, and we cannot see the Buddha nature inside of them. We cannot see it or know it, but it is there. Another example is you have a book, and inside the book there are thousands of vocabulary words. And inside of each word is empty. That means emptiness pervades everywhere. Similarly, Buddha nature pervades everywhere. So, we all have Buddha nature in a simple way. However long you are suffering or have problems, anxiety, worries, tensions, you will find that for 1 minute or 2 minutes, you are relaxing. You are peaceful. That is proof of your Buddha nature. If you remain in samsara for 100 years, and in those years, sickness, obstacles, internally or externally, they come. They come sometimes. It is not 24/7 suffering. That means basically your mind is peaceful. This is a sign of your Buddha nature. It's like there is a sun and the sign of the sun is warmth. And other examples are faith, wisdom, eating and speaking well, knowing how to keep your body healthy. Knowing these are part of Buddha's wisdom. And Buddha's wisdom is a quality of Buddha nature. You have love, compassion, and even tigers, lions, and wolves, and other predators. They have love for their babies or their partners. This is a sign or proof of Buddha nature. In addition, there is no doubt that we have Buddha nature, but we cannot realize it easily. And even if we realize it, we cannot trust that we have realized it. As it says in Dzogpa Chimpa prayer, not believing this is that simple, it is secret of the mind. Secret means that it is hidden from us because we don't believe it can be that simple. So secret means that, for example, if we are going to carry a person, for example, for me, if I have to told someone, beggar or and teller, then me in my 2 hands are carry them on my back. It's very difficult. Sorry, I said beggar. I'm a bigger, okay, and taller. But if I understand the secret of the mind, then I can hold that person with 1 hand. I actually saw some yoga practitioners who put 1 person on their foot or on their hand. and still they can do their poses. Buddha nature is within each and every moment's thought. When we start to focus on it, we understand whether you are a higher practitioner or lower practitioner. You will be able to understand that. For example, when you are tired and you take a long breath, or when you yawn, or when you sneeze, in those moments, you can experience the space of your Buddha nature. But if I say this, maybe you will not believe it, so that means it is too simple to be believed. So perhaps you think because it is a secret from ourselves and we do not believe it, then there's no method to realize it. But we do have a method to realize it. What is the method? As it says, may this be seen through the power of the Guru's path instructions. Through path instructions, we are able to see it clearly. But why do we need path instructions in order to realize our Buddha nature or the secret mind? Because we cannot give a definite affirmation of it. We cannot decide that it is Buddha nature. For example, if I show you a very simple thing and say this is Buddha nature, you can say yes, but you cannot decisively realize it. But through path instructions, then we will be able to know it. As Gampopa said, I realize this ordinary mind to be Buddha nature through the kindness of Buddha in the form of an ordinary being, my Guru Milarepa. And when we know it, then if we don't continuously meditate on it, then this knowing easily disappears. This is extremely important, okay? Because this understanding will not remain. But then, what is meditation? Meditation means, in Sanskrit, bhavana or bhavana. The bhavana means doing something again and again. So sometimes I say that, hopefully that is not a harsh word. We all great meditators, but we are meditators of anger, attachment, jealousy, ignorance, self-grasping, and so forth. That's where I know they are like a hook of fish. We are like a fish in the water. What is called the hook? Hold the fish's lip and then easily pull. Even hook is very small, like my single hair. Very small. But fish are so big, like sharks. Even they have 300 teeth. But useless if they met hook. And then this strain or thread is hot honey. See? So we meditated for a long time. Sometimes we took rebirth human. Sometimes we took rebirth animals. Either way, we meditated on afflictive emotions, grasping. And right now we became Buddhist. But still we meditate on egoistic mind. Still sometimes someone complain yidams and dakinis. They have no power. If you don't make friend with them, then if they have power, how can they help you? If you are 24/7 stay underneath of ground, the sun is every morning is rise from the east mountain, then you, of course, you did not touch the sunlight. You did not see the sunlight. So still you criticize sun. That means it's too much. So, meditation means doing something for a long period of time. So what is the difference between the Buddhas and us? Buddhas, they meditate on selflessness, started from four thoughts, and started from shamatha, vipassana, generation stage, completion stage. They meditate, and now they became meditator of selflessness. Then they become, painless or suffering less, or they are free from suffering. But we were also meditators, but we meditate with the egoistic mind. The suffering is quality of egoistic mind. Dear brothers and sisters, understand? Everything has qualities. Fingers are qualities of our hands. Nose and eyes and ears are the quality of our face. So, egoistic mind has qualities. Selflessness has qualities. So, which one we will prefer? If we meditate on egoistic mind, then suffering has no freedom. I mean, suffering comes to you, arises to you if you meditate on egoistic mind. If you meditate selflessness, then even you pray, please come suffering, please experience suffering, it will not be. Only the moment of recite the Heart Sutra, for example. If you don't realize the Buddha nature, okay? Buddha nature means it's like a non-duality. It's quite hard. We say yes, we cannot say yes, we cannot say no. It's beyond of thoughts, beyond the thoughts mentioned, reflect. But you go on the direction of no, because right now we are in the human desire realm. That's why we have lots of fixate on the heavy things. This is yes, this is exist, that is exist. We have lots of these perceptions. So if you little bit run away from this fixation, so you say no eyes, no ears, no body, no. If you go little while, particularly when you are too much suffering at that moment, you say no, no, no. At that moment, definitely you will not suffer. But of course, don't misunderstand. No karma, no next life. If you say that, these are wrong view. So be careful on there, okay? And then So meditation means doing something for a long period of time, then your mind completely arrives there. For instance, if you train to how to swim, then you become free in the water. Just like that, when you meditate, you become free in your thoughts. During the meditation, still you need path instructions, because it is possible that you are led by different thoughts and different distractions arise. And at that time, you will not be able to understand. This happens a lot when we meditate. For example, we wake up early in the morning and we sit in meditation posture and meditate on one subject. But slowly the mind is lost from the meditation and it travels everywhere. Then if we started to meditate around 4 p.m. and now it's almost 7 a.m., but mind traveled the whole universe and did a lot of things, and in the time it only meditated maybe 30 minutes. I'm sharing my own experience, okay? Hopefully you will not happen that. So often happens like that. Meditation is actually one word, but there are many things necessary for it. Number one is that you should continuously focus. Number two is that you should apply your mindfulness and attentiveness. Mindfulness is like your two hands holding the steering wheel. Attentiveness is like your real view, mirror and two-side mirrors. Even if you drive carefully with your hands on the steering wheel and using your mirrors, still a car can come crashing into you, or when you are the higher way, you need to slow down or speed up in different conditions. This is where the Guru's path instructions enhance and remove obstacles in your practice. As Dzogpa Chimbo prayer says, may I receive the great empowerment of the radiance of Rigpa. Rigpa is totally opposite of Marigpa. Marigpa means ignorance. From where do we receive this ultimate empowerment? From our Guru, we will receive the empowerment of Rigpa. Then if you receive the empowerment of Rigpa, then what changes in your life? At that time, you will dissolve into union of Rigpa and emptiness. When you dissolve into Rigpa and emptiness, then you become free from thoughts. Becoming free from thoughts means that you still have thoughts, they still arise, but these thoughts dissolve into the union of Rigpa and emptiness, like smoke dissolving into space. If smoke comes to your throat, you start to cough. If smoke goes in the space, no problem. What is different? If you realize emptiness, then afflictive emotions still arise, but no problem. Right now, each thought pulls us away, leads us like a horse with reins. Wherever we pull, they come. Similarly, we are like a horse with reins. So our thought lead us. But when we realize, experience the union of Rigpa and emptiness, then all these thoughts arise. But they dissolve into the union. They dissolve into the union like waves dissolve into the ocean. So at that time, we really attain unsurpassable liberation. According to your level of practice, right now I'm talking reality, okay? So you reflect by yourself. For example, there are different ways. If you realize Rigpa and union of the Rigpa and emptiness, then actually Rigpa means clarity or awareness. Emptiness means free from these fixations. But Rigpa sees what? Rigpa sees the real essence of these things. So you realize the union of Rigpa and emptiness, but still occur attachment. If you are higher practitioners, the highest practitioners, then there will not occur these things. I mean, as Buddha completely purified the root of them. Buddha purified the root of afflictive emotions, defilement, and so obscurations. That's where there's no way to arise. But still the higher practitioners, possible they arise different emotions. Among the higher practitioners, there's different layers. Someone suddenly acknowledge these afflictive thoughts and dissolve, almost spontaneously dissolve into the union of Rigpa and emptiness. But someone hours later, minutes later, days later, weeks later, something like that. So then you can judge by yourself what kind of stage you were. Then also Rigpa means Rigpa is the awareness and the clarity, but Rigpa means knowing something, yeah. So it has different layers. For example, when we are studied, and then we studied for a long time, and when we read a book, first we understand each and every meaning of vocabularies. I mean, literally we understand. And then someone understand the meaning. And then someone understand the one paragraph completely. And someone read that book, but they realize they understand another knowledge on this book more than that book says. So similarly, there are different. The Rigpa is sometimes you apply Rigpa. You receive empowerment of Rigpa. Receive empowerment means it does not mean some vase put on your head. Okay, Guru introduces your natural state of mind, and you understand that through this power. Then sometimes you see afflictive emotions arise, you suddenly see it. Or sometimes you can see it is false. And then if you are a little higher practitioner, and then you see the small part of afflictive emotions. And then you are higher practitioners, and then you can even these emotions arise at the same time you are able to understand these essence of afflictive emotions. In brief, at that time, internally, thoughts and outer appearances, all of it is dissolved into the union of Rigpa and emptiness. Then themselves dissolve into the union of Rigpa and emptiness. So it is like a snake untying itself. This example is important, okay? So this is how we try to recognize Buddha nature through the system of path instructions. And then we go through the book. So the land, the prime cause is Buddha nature, states the following. As mentioned above, you need to gain freedom from the deluded nature of samsara and to attain highest enlightenment. However, you might well wonder, even if we are or other ordinary people like us were to try very hard, how could we ever possibly attain enlightenment? It's a good question, yeah? In truth, anyone who practices with great effort cannot fail to reach enlightenment. Why? Because all forms of consciousness life, including ourselves, possess its prime cause. Within us is Buddha nature. Okay, now it mentioned through the Buddha's scriptures. The King of Meditation Sutara states, Buddha nature totally permeates all beings. So how it permeates? It permeates like empty space provided everywhere. Actually, I repeat it, emphasize for you. So whether there is a container made of jewels or a container made of simple clay or wood, the space inside this container is no different. Is the difference? If you say, oh, they are different, then I give you some gift. I bring the sun, full moon, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, full moon, yeah? I use a letter of the rainbow and go up in the space and bring the full moon and I give you it. If not, if you don't have this, what is the proof or something, and then what is my request? Please look at your Buddha nature. Okay? So where we are? Yeah, so this is the space around gold. So the space is good, or this is the space around wood. So it is not good. Not important. We may have this kind of a perception, but the space is no different. I like space because it's equanimity, balance, equanimity, balance. Because I see it gives great benefit. If my body is being balanced, I'm healthy, health or healthy body. If my mind is balanced, then I don't have attachment and aversion. If we don't have attachment and aversion, then we will not create a negative karma. Whether you are a higher practitioner or lower practitioner, you must be afraid of karma. If you are not scared of karma, then Guru Rinpoche said, if you are reached the 10th bhumi, but karmic system is a very subtle like a ground, tsampa. So, if you not afraid ghost, if you are not afraid these other obstacles, it's very good. But if you are not afraid karma, this is dangerous. Because karma is law. We all under the law of karma. But still, general law is somewhere. Someone separately come and punish. If you break the law, they punish to you. But law of karma means your action. Within your action, then you punish yourself. But of course, one understanding able is we are samsaric being. Sometimes very possible we break, unknowingly we break law of karma, we made mistakes. But still we need to be afraid of that, and we should confess, purify. This is extremely important, especially Dharma brothers and sisters. We should be careful. Now I say it, but of course I try to put it into the action as much as possible. Usually I say that I have more trust in you. You are a great practitioner more than me, and you have a great spiritual wisdom. Definitely, you have great spiritual wisdom more than me. That's why if I just wake up, or to say like a alarm clock, I being as alarm clock, and then you can work on that. So that's why I request to you. But particularly how it permeates is that their essence is Buddha nature. For example, the essence of your emotions themselves are Buddha nature. The essence of anger is mirror-like wisdom. We call it mirror-like wisdom, but it is actually Buddha nature. The essence of pride is equanimity wisdom. The essence of attachment is discerning wisdom. The essence of jealousy is in unhindered activity wisdom. The essence of ignorance is dharma dhartu wisdom. So the essence of these 5 afflictive emotions is wisdom. So for example, if I bring a small cold cloud or dirt, and I tell you that the essence of this is empty space, maybe you will not trust me. But if I break up the cloud and grind it into very small particles, smaller than sand, and then throw it in the air, and then you try to find it, but we cannot find it. That means the essence of it is empty space. From higher mountain to small cloud of dirt and everything in between, the essence is empty, nothing. Right now we have a dualistic perception, obscurations. So this kind of example makes sense. When I say this essence of this cloud of dirt is empty space, and I explain it to you, and break it down into particles, then you trust me. But still, I cannot purify your fixation. Your fixation is you think, oh, this is empty space. Everything is empty space. At that time, we are very close to Buddha nature, but we have not entered into the Buddha nature because we have fixation. So through meditating, reflecting, and practicing, we have to enter into Buddha nature. And then the shorter grade passing into Nirvana Sutara says, all thinking beings possess Buddha nature. Further, the longer grade passing into Nirvana Sutara says, just as butter, for example, exists in milk as something totally permeating permeating it, so does Buddha nature permeate all thinking beings. The ornament of Mahayana Sutara also states, suchness is the same for all and everyone. It is that which is pure. Since this is the Tathagata, all beings are endowed with this essence. If this is so, you may wonder why thinking beings are endowed with Buddha nature. It because 1. Dharmakaya emptiness provides all beings. 2. The universal essence, Dharmata, suchness, Tathata is the without differentiation. And 3. Every thinking being has the potential to become a Buddha. This is just what is stated in the Uttara Tantra, where it is says, because the Buddha's body provides all. Tibetan said, Deking Nimbun Rokanyong La Chap. I think some Dharma friends knows Tibetan very well. So, because suchness is without differentiation, and because they possess the potential, every living being at all times has Buddha nature. Okay? To explain the first reason, Dharmakaya, emptiness, provides all beings, here the Buddha is embodied in the Dharmakaya. And the Dharmakaya is emptiness. Since emptiness is something providing all thinking beings, it follows that all those beings have the essence of Buddhahood. The second reason, the universal essence, suchness is without differentiation, means that whether it be in terms of good and bad, great and small, or higher and lower, there is no difference between the universal essence in Buddhas and the universal essence in thinking beings. Thus, thinking beings possess the Buddha essence, that every thinking being has the potential to become a Buddha, is explained through the 5 ways in which they stand in respect to enlightenment potential. Okay? Let me first charge my potential with water. Water is also potential, yeah? Natural potential. So without water, sometimes I'm meditator of hot water, you are meditator of cold water. So this is very, very hot water, but I like it. Hot water is like a nectar. Cold water is also like a nectar, yeah. These are outlined in the following synopsis. Those with enlightenment potential can be, summed up as belong to 5 groups. Those with severed potential, undetermined potential, Sharavika potential, Practica Buddha potential, and those with the Mahayana potential. Those with the severed potential are characterized by 6 traits, such as lack in sense of shame in public, having no dignity in private, lacking compassion, and so forth. The great master Asanga has said of them. Through this Ornament liberation teaching, so I read this, and so there are many Buddhas and masters, scriptures. I referred many scriptures, so you will become very rich in Dharma knowledge. Yeah, the best thing is if I read only in Tibetan, because I already studied, I have a loan and everything there, so that is the best one. But I'm reading this in English because then it will great benefit to you. The main thing is you should understand it. Yeah, you should understand this. So then I actually give you a commentary through my own suggestion or understanding. But the main thing is this is also a commentary, a root text and a commentary together. So through this way you will gain greater Dharma knowledge and a benefit. So the great master Asanga has said of them, though seeing what is wrong with samsara, they are not in the least put off by it. Though hearing about the qualities of enlightened beings, they feel not the slightest faith in them. Without conscience and shame, and devoid of even a little compassion, they feel not the slightest regret for the unwholesome acts in which they fully indulge. Through compounding those 6 shortcomings, they are far from ready for enlightenment. It also says in the Ornament of Mahayana Sutaras, it is certain that some are solely engaged in what is harmful. Some are constantly destroying whatever is good. Others like those virtues conducive to liberation. They are devoid of anything that could in any way be wholesome. Uh, okay. Although those who have the above traits are said to have severed potential, this refers to their having to pass in exceedingly long time in samsara and does not mean that they have definitively cut off any chance of achieving enlightenment. Provided that they make the effort, they can attain enlightenment. It says of this in White Lotus of Great Compassion Sutara. Ananda, where someone lacking the fortunate circumstance for nirvana merely to cast a follower up in the sky, visualizing the Buddha, then that person thereby possesses the fruit of nirvana. I declare that person to be one who will reach nirvana and who will penetrate to its furthest end. Yeah, so usually we should make a relationship with the Buddha externally. In the relative form or relative truth, the cultivate merit is extremely important. How to cultivate merit is there are many ways to cultivate. Actually, all the cultivate merit action are including preliminary practices. But in generally, when you are going to you travel to different places, and at that time you see some beautiful flowers in the mountains, and you see rainbows in summer or spring season. Even you see some beautiful birds, even you hear beautiful sounds from birds and so forth, and you should offer them Buddha. Actually, this is your samaya to remember Buddha often, since you take refuge vow. Okay? The best thing is you should remember 3 jewels 3 times in daytime, yeah? And 3 times in nighttime. And before it, you have to offer food to the 3 jewels. Before go to sleep, you have to remember 3 jewels. But if you can, the best thing is we should do that. But if you can't do it, but sometimes you see even you see some beautiful shape of clouds and so forth. You do that, offer to Buddha and remember the kindness of Buddha. This is very important. And sometimes the weather is very hot, and there are some breezy, little breeze or breeze. You should think that's the kindness of Buddha. Buddha and your karma has a great relationship. So that's definitely Buddha's blessing. So you remember the kindness of jewels, and through this way you accumulate a great merit. And then you are driving cars on the way, you see some cows and other animals, you recite mantra as well as mani mantra and so forth. When you recite mani mantra, that motivation comes from compassion. So when you arise compassion, even 1 minute, that is Avalokita Shavara's activities. If your activities are Avalokita Shavara's activities, then that means you are compassion Buddha. So don't ignore these small things. Always expect very higher things, higher realizations. Actually, I will bring this scripture. Dharmakirti says in Madhyamaka text, someone who don't care about the ultimate truth, that part is Shantideva said. If you don't care about ultimate truth, relative truth, then you will not reach on ultimate stage. The example is if you are going to climb up on the roof of the house without a stair or ladder, then you cannot jump there. So we must relate it this ultimate truth, because we are in still we have a dualistic perception. So that's where even you have opportunity to cultivate merit with turn the page, you do it. You turn the one page. If it is cause of merit, you do it. Don't be ignored with these small virtues, and be careful with the small non-virtues. This is very important. Of course, we all we don't engage very serious non-virtues, like killing others and stealing others' things and so forth. We are not engaged with them, but when we walk on the ground, for example, in summertime, definitely we step on the other beings as well as ant and so forth. And of course, we cannot avoid because we have to walk. We have to work. That's why we have to walk. But internally, you generate compassion and think, oh, for sure, under my feet, at least 500 or 100 beings. So then you generate compassion, and then this imprint of compassion blaze into them. For example, in the summer, sometimes around the May, June, July, the weather is extremely hot. But this weather was extremely hot. But there were no rain. But just a cloud cover in space, it helps. Or just rain, just a few rains drop on the ground, it still helps. But that we see, we know, because the plants have become fresh. Same. So compassion has and loving kindness have like these powers. So be mindful. Yeah, of course, if you when you're working on the ground, work on the ground, and you generate compassion internally, people don't know you are practicing Dharma. So actually, the people said habit is little funny. Whatever we do, people have to know it. That is actually related to outwardly concerns. we need people's praise. We always expect that. But sometimes I think it's a good thing because through this way they do a lot of good things. Yeah, everybody cannot become authentic practitioners, so they do as much as even they are not so much engaged negative karma in physically, mentally, whatever. So that's why it's not so bad, but uh, sometimes we gently, humbly practice is very important because you step on the 100 beings, but you arise compassion through your mindfulness, and then they'll helps you to arise compassion. So that's where there is a mutual benefit. Mutual benefit. So then, if unfortunately, if you will engage very non-virtuous, serious non-virtuous, but you arise compassion a moment, or you recite a single mantra, or meditate 5 minutes, all of these results become cause of enlightenment in the end of your how to say it the end of this life, or end of your samsara. However, your samsara is not endless. Your samsara is not endless. That's where it is says in the White Lotus of Great Compassion Sutara. Yeah. Okay, then the lot of those with undetermined potential depends on the circumstance. Those who train under Sharavika spiritual teachers become involved with the Sharavikas, or come across Sharavika scriptures, will place their trust in the Sharavika way, and having entered that way, will actually become Sharavikas themselves. Likewise, those who encounter practical Buddha or Mahayana circumstance will embrace the practical Buddha or Mahayana ways. Those with Sharavika potential fear samsara, believe in nirvana, and have limited compassion. The scriptures say, seeing the suffering of samsara, they are afraid. They manifestly aspire for nirvana. They are not interested in working for the welfare of sentient beings. Those who bear these three characteristics have the Sharavika potential. Okay. In addition to the above three characteristics, am I there? Yeah. Those with the practical Buddha potential have numerous self-confidence, keep quiet about their teachers, and are loners. It is said, grieved by samsaric existence, keen for nirvana, wake in compassion, exceedingly confident, secretive about their teachers, and loving solitude.
these the ways should recognize as having the practical Buddha potential. Yeah, secret about their teachers means they don't follow teachers. But they have realization, they have a Dharma experience. But in this case, for example, one graduated from one school, lower school, and then if one don't follow, enter in university, and then still your education is limited. Similarly, these practical Buddhas, they have some realizations, and of course they have great qualities that they dislike samsara. They are not much engaged about negative karma to directly rebirth in the lower realms, but they are still not able to complete enlightenment, able to become complete enlightenment. Complete enlightenment means it's like a space in the vase and space in the universe. It's big different, yeah? In space of a vase, there is some flares can fly there. Maybe small tea we can pull there, tea or water, but it's not, that's all, because it is limited, yeah? Small space inside has a small space. Practical Buddhas are like that. And then complete enlightened or Buddha means this boundless space. So then all the plants can appear there, and all airplanes can fly there, and people can go work, and there's all the trees can grow. So there are a lot of rooms. It is vast. Similarly, when when we become completely enlightened, that time, then everything become free. Actually, for example, water and fire are opposite. If we have pour water, lot of water in the fire, then fire will die. Or we have a very strong fire, there's a small, very few water, it will dry up, right? So that means they are conflict or they are opposite. But no matter in this empty space, fire is existing, water is existing. All the space is so light is existing, darkness is existing. So all of them exist in this space, but it cannot affect to the empty space. Similarly, any thoughts, the samsara, Buddha's omniscience, see all these samsaric situations, but it could not affect to Buddha's mind, which means Buddha is completely free from these sufferings. Okay, so probably we stop here today, and we will do continuously next week. Okay, and now we will dedicate, please dedicate compassionately and arise Bodhichitta, okay? Chancho Sencho Rinpoche Ma Ji Ba Na Man Ji Jor Je
Ji ba nyam ba mi ba ya ko ne kon de be ba jo.
May Bodhichitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Higher and higher, okay? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Dharma practice time. May you long life and a happy life and a healthy life. Thank you so much.